Hello there. This talk is for you. It's for anyone who has ever loved with a heart so wide open, so truly, so genuinely, with unwavering honesty and faithful commitment, but only to find yourself broken at the end, holding the shattered pieces of a promise. If you gave a love that was pure and received a goodbye that made no sense, this talk is for you. By the end of our time together, I promise you this, you will walk away with a new lens to view your heartbreak. One that replaces the ache of rejection with the quiet strength of understanding. You will see that your worth was never and can never be determined by someone's inability to hold it. And you will find the first firm stone on a new path, one that leads you back to your own wholeness. My name is Rodgers Wafula, also known as Waziri Akili, your mental health minister. I'm a counseling psychologist, a mental health trainer, and keynote speaker. My work is to walk with people through their deepest valleys, not just as an expert who has never fallen, but as a guide who knows the way out, because I have been lost there too. You know, healing often begins in the quiet, fragile moment in the dead of the night when you finally stop running from the sentence and whisper to yourself, this hurt me. Not to blame, not to shame, but to simply and bravely acknowledge, this left a scar, and I am now ready to face it, to understand it and to heal it. I once lost the love of my life. And when I say lost, I don't mean misplacing them like a pair of socks, or a set of keys, or a favorite pair of trousers or shirt. No. I mean gone, walked away, disappeared from my future, leaving only the ghost of their presence in my past. I was broken completely. My heart didn't just break. It seemed to malfunction. It would race with panic, then slow to a terrifying crawl. Sometimes, lying in the dark, I swore it had grown to a complete halt. The pain was so physical, so total. I honestly believed my body would not be able to sustain it. Have you ever been there? In that desolate place where you stay at the ceiling, where you stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m. and the whole world shrinks to the four walls of your room, where even the faint buzz of a mosquito sounds louder and more alive than your own heartbeat. Nights became endless, twisting tunnels of thoughts. Days were heavier than stones I had to carry, each hour a burden. The darkness felt absolute. The loneliness, it wasn't just being alone. It was profound, echoing isolation that made you feel invisible in a crowd, disconnected from the very pulse of life. It was unbearable. But somehow, breath by breath, day by day, I got through. Wounded? Yes. Scarred? Absolutely. But still moving forward. I carried the lessons in my bones. And life, in its strange and humorous way, continued. I even found another love of my life later on. You know how we humans are. We have this beautiful resilience capacity to love again, to hope again, and to try again. We often say, this is the one, until we meet another, the one. Each love unique, each chapter its own story. But in that journey from devastation to survival, and eventually to new love, I learned a truth so powerful, so foundational. It became the very reason for this talk. I learned that my identity My worth, my core, was not tied to that relationship. I was still me, whole, present, real. Beneath the pain, I remained. And I learned this crucial flip of perspective. When someone chooses to walk away from a genuine, loving partner, they ain't just walking away from you. They are, in fact, walking away from the best version of themselves. Because your honest love, your faithful presence, was a mirror and a catalyst. You are quietly inviting them to be better, to grow, to be accountable, to be honest, to rise. By leaving you, they didn't lose a problem. They lost their greatest ally. Let that truth sink in for a moment. Feel its weight, shift something inside. You see, when someone makes the choice to walk away from a kind, giving, genuine soul, when they dismiss your love, take for granted your loyalty, waste your time, ignore your truth, they are often operating under a blind belief. They believe the grass is greener, that they are walking toward freedom, toward something better. But here is the silent tragedy they never see coming. They did not just lose a person. They lost a mirror. You were the mirror. You were the living, breathing reflection that showed them who they could be. Not to shame them, not to humiliate them, but to redeem them. You reflected their potential, their goodness, their capacity for deep connection. You were not perfect, no one is. But you carried something priceless into their life. Your positive energy, your consistent care, your steady heart. You were the peace in their chaos, the stability in their storm, the lighthouse offering safe harbor for their own turbulence. And when they shattered that mirror by walking away, they were left standing in a room of broken glass, forced to stare at the raw and edited truth of who they really are. Suddenly, there is no one to distract them from their own shortcomings, no one to subtly blame for their happiness, no one to absorb their frustrations. All that remains is the echo of their own thoughts, the company of their own choices. And that, my friend, is not the pain of absence. That is the pain of realization. The dawning realization that you are not weak for loving so deeply. You are not naive for trusting so fully. You are not disposable. You are the gift. You are the opportunity. Their pride, their fear, their unresolved wounds convince them to walk away from the very thing that could have given. And now they remain in that storm they tried to escape, secretly ashamed to admit they were the ones who created the clouds. And shame is acquired by time. It is not small. It is corrosive. It does not scream. It's alive. It whispers. It creeps in quiet vulnerable hours at 3 a.m. during the drive home alone, during the silent Sunday evening. It rises to the surface in every new relationship that feels hollow, in every connection that fails to measure up to the depth they once knew. It tightens their chest when your name is mentioned. When their mind travels back to you, and it will, they don't fondly remember controlling you. They don't reminisce about the moments of manipulation. They remember sincerity. They remember your presence. They remember your truth. And in the face of their current compromises, that memory of genuine love burns them, and it really burns. You did not need to plot their downfall. You do not need to wish them ill. Life and the natural consequences of their own choices will handle that curriculum. All you are required to do was to finally walk away yourself. Not to chase, not to over-explain, not to beg for your worth to be seen. Just silence. Just peaceful, dignified absence. And in that powerful silence, you taught them a lesson more profound than any confrontation could ever deliver. Your love was the mirror they were not yet brave enough to face. So, I want you to begin the shift today. Stop thinking of it as merely the loss of you. Start seeing it for what it truly is, your divine invitation to rise higher. Because every ending, as painful as it is, holds a hidden lesson. Every disappointment is a classroom for your soul. Every closed door carries But let me be clear, this talk is not about them. It is not about spending your life analyzing their loss. This is about you. Your true power, your authentic freedom begins the precise moment you stop waiting at the door for closure from them and start healing for yourself. Healing means you gently pick up the lesson from the ashes and you consciously leave the searing pain behind. It means you stop looping the torturous question, why did they hurt me? And start asking the empowering one, what did this experience teach me about my own strength, my own boundaries, my own heart? It means you author the next chapter. You decide that your story does not end with the sentence they wrote for you. It continues gloriously with what you choose to become after it. Now let me say this as we move toward closing. Love is beautiful, yes. It is life's greatest melody. But love is not a prison. Love is not bondage. If you feel trapped in the memories, shackled by the pain, serving a sentence of guilt for a crime you did not commit, hear my voice now. A jailbreak is not just possible, it is necessary. You cannot build a new future while locked in the prison of the past. You are not a warden. You are a prisoner. And today, you hold the key. You did not abandon them. You simply, wisely stopped watering a dead plant. You stopped pouring your life into a vessel with no bottom. That is not cruelty. That is not coldness. That is the deepest wisdom of self-preservation. They will never find another you. And in the quietest chamber of their hearts, they know this. You are not a perfect fantasy, but you were present. You were sincere. You were rare. They were handed something sacred, a genuine connection, and they mishandled it. They placed it on a shaky shelf, and it fell. That truth will not fade with their new distractions. No. It will sharpen with time. As the numbness of the new wears off, the memory of the real will come into ever clearer focus. So for today, and in this moment, please remember this anchor truth. You are not half because someone left you. Their departure did not amputate your wholeness. You are complete, you are enough, your value is intrinsic, woven into your very being, and no person's blindness can unravel it. Even if your heart feels broken, you are not broken. You are a mosaic in progress. You are simply being reshaped, your pieces being reassembled by a wiser hand into a vessel ready for better things ahead. So breathe deeply. Let your shoulders drop. Walk tall. Walk tall, knowing the weight you carry is the weight of your strength, not their baggage. And smile. A small, knowing smile, not for them, but for the future that is already being born. Because they did not just lose you, they lost themselves when they lost you. So here is where I leave you for now. Perhaps you are sitting here, perhaps in your room, in your car, carrying the weight of broken love, the sting of betrayal, the deafening silence of being taken for granted. Please hear me clearly. You do not have to carry this alone. I know the nights can be long and the ache can feel like a permanent guest. But I'm here to tell you and to show you that healing is possible. Peace is possible. A joyful, forward-moving life is not just a dream. It is possible. It's your possible, impending reality. This is my life's work. I offer counseling and mental health coaching and training to provide you with the tools and the space and guided support to navigate this journey. We can meet virtually or in person. Distance is not a barrier. As long as you are in this world and you can hear me right now, help is within reach. If this message has spoken to your spirit, if it has echoed the truth you felt but couldn't name, then stay connected. Follow me, Waziri Akili, on Facebook and TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Waziri Akili, for weekly conversations like this one, where we build resilience and rediscover hope together. Because your silence is not defeat. Your peace is not surrender. Your healing is the loudest, most powerful statement of all. It echoes far beyond the reach of any revenge. Thank you for your courageous heart. Remember, your mission now is not to make them regret. Your mission is to heal, to learn, and to live so fully, so brightly, that you become living, breathing proof that healing is not just possible, but glorious. Signing out, Waziri Akili, your mental health minister.